So I'm assuming that you all are using Meet Manager, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through a few steps of how to set up a meet and kind of how to get it from Team Unify over to here and back and forth. If you've had meets run in Team Manager before, then you can just very easily go to open, and then sometimes the meets like to go different places. I'm going to go to last year's let's see, what do okay, I'm going to go to last year's Cedar Mill versus Brentwood. Now, the other thing is, like, if you are the computer person and you're not going to be the computer person for very long, like, try and make a naming system so that it's consistent, because like that's why I do it this way. So I do 2021, and then this year will be 2022. Like, I already made the 2022 one for time trials. All right, so I'm going to open this database. And now up here, can you guys see my arrow thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Up here it says C:\\, and then \, then some random file name thing. And this is the database that we're in. So this is the last year's database for our swim meet versus Brentwood. Okay, so this meet has everything that happened last year in our events. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new file for this year. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to call it something else, because we aren't swimming Brentwood this year. I'm going to call it Cooldell, because we are swimming Cooldell, but I'm going to call it 2021 or 2022 Cooldell. And then I'm going to hit open. Then it comes up with this, and it will ask you to change the name. Now, whatever you call this name, that's what it's going to be called in Meet Manager or in Meet Mobile and on your heat sheets. So, pick carefully. All right. Then start date. I forget when this is going to be, but I'm just going to leave it. But I'm going to change this to 22 and change this to 20. Oops. Change this to 22. And then change this to 22. And then it says selective purge. That once you do that, that gets rid of, if you have all of these things checked, that gets rid of all of that stuff that was in there. And you want to do that if you're making a new meet. So then you click on OK. Okay, so now it's all ready to go. You can click on this events, and you'll see all the events for your meet are here. And then so that's events. If you need to add events, you can add them using add. I mean, you kind of have to play around with this, but trying to go all the way up. One other thing that I learned this year is that you have to have a session. So make sure when you are in here that you have a session, because if you don't have a session, it doesn't work. Our high school coach made that mistake, so I had to fix that. Okay, so that's the events. Everything should be already all set up. You can go to setup and check it. meet setup. Meet name is Cedar Mill versus Cooldale 2022. We're going to swim at Cedar Mill. Make sure that these dates are all changed. You want to change this one also. And this one. You want it to be a standard meet. You want it to be a dual meet. Now, one thing you want to make sure you're noticing is whether or not you're in short course meters or yards. So some pools, Cedar Mill and Cooldale, are both short course yards. I think Castle Pines is, or short course meters. I think Castle Pines is yards. I don't know. There's some other pools that are yards. Just follow USA Swimming. You want an age group. This LSC doesn't completely matter, but if it forces you to have one, Ozark is fine. Ozark is actually our actual LSC. USA. Now, this pool, the timer's connected to this computer. This doesn't matter. This is for if you do have a timing system. I mean, we're Summer League. We don't really have that. So, okay, you can click on OK, and that should save all that stuff. Oh, and then it's going to ask you to set up Meet Mobile. You click on Full Meet. You want free heat sheets. You have to agree to this. Put in some date that's not. And then click on confirm. And then to publish it, you're gonna go in here and publish it. But I don't publish mine until I've merged my meet and done all that kind of stuff. So let's see, let's go back into settings. Athlete and relay preferences. I just kind of click through all this stuff and make sure I know what's going on. This should be fine. Seating preferences. Okay, so number of to circle C. Oh, yeah, we I gotta figure that out, whether or not that's right. Now, lanes for seating, we use 6 lanes for that, so it goes 3, 4, 2, 5, 1, 6. If you have 4 lanes and you want to click on this one, and most of the pools are 4 lanes or 6 lanes. Dual meets. Oh, this is where you're gonna, after you get your people in here, you're gonna assign lanes, but I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And that's master meets. So I'm gonna click on OK on that. Scoring setup, standard. We use the standard, this scoring 5, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1 for relays. That's how all of them are. What else? Officials, division. The rest of this probably you don't need. Report preferences. Oh, you can change this so that you can show athletes the different kinds of things on your heat sheets. I mean, that's up to you. You can change all that stuff. I don't want to do that. Okay, so that is how you set up the meet. Now I'm going to look at what my thing says. Scoring. Okay, now I'm going to go to Team Unify now. And I'm going to go to Cedar Mill. Okay, so under your events,
Still see the Meet Manager screen.
oh, you do? Okay, sorry. Let's see if I can. Now, do you see that? Good. Okay. So I've already set up my event for time trials, and I don't know if you guys know how to do this or not, but this is how you set it up. Our time trials is next Monday from 5:30 to whatever. Registration deadline. Now, you're gonna take your Meet Manager file. Well, you have to export something, so I'll show you how to do that in a second. Well, wait, I want to go back to that. So now I'm going to go, hold on, going back to Meet Manager. Do you see Meet Manager now? Okay. All right. So now, once you get your file made, what you're going to do is you're going to export events for TM and then hit yes. Okay. And then hit OK. Now, watch where it goes, because sometimes it goes places, it forces it to go places. I mean, make sure you know where it's putting it. So I'm going to click OK. All right, so this file is what you're going to use when you go over here to back to your Team Unify. Allow online registration, Meet Manager, Meet Events, allow online thing. It's going to, if you click on that radio button, it'll ask you to find the file, the zip file, and then you click on that zip file and you will load it on here. And I've already done that for this one for our time trials. And once you do that, then all the events are loaded up into that. So that's kind of that. I'm going to save that. Now I go to, when you're in Team Unify, you have to be a super user. So now I'm going to go to Edit Commitment, and this tab is going to allow me to look at my committed athletes. So you can see we already have people signing up. So you're going to go in, and your coach will go in and sign all these kids up for everything, for whatever they need to be signed up for. This is time trials, so we'll probably sign everybody up for everything. And also sometimes I let our parents put in notes, and you can see here this person says freestyle and back. So that means they don't want to swim, fly, and breast. So once you do all your entries, you'll see them here. You have to approve them, and I don't have any entries in here, so it's not going to matter, but you have to approve them, select all and approve them. And then you can export. You want to export your file, and it's going to tell you only approved entries and relays will be exported. Do you still want to continue? Click on OK, and then it's going to save as a standard SD3 file. That's the file you want. And let's see, for all participants, yes. So it makes a new file, and you have to figure out where it went, because it tries to download to places that you don't want it to go. So once you have this file made, wherever it is, go back to Meet Manager, and you're going to import entries. Okay. So I click on that. Now there won't be any entries in this because I didn't do any entries, but okay, so now it'll show you, oops, it'll show you in athletes, it'll show you all the athletes. Now there won't be any in here because I didn't have anybody signed up, but it'll show you all the athletes and what they're signed up for. And then you just seed the meet. So select all, seed the meet, start seeding. You have to assign the lanes. You have to go back and sign. It'll tell you when you've made a mistake. And setting the lanes is over here, and no, it's here. It's here. So see, I'm gonna tell it to. If you're home, you're 135. If you're away, you're 246. So that's how. But right now we're only doing that because this is time. So, oh, and then if you have a dual meet, you open they'll send you a file and you open their entries, and open your entries. And once everybody's in, then seed the meet. Then you'll get to make a bunch of reports. I'm going to go to a meet that's actually, I'm going to go back to this Brentwood meet so you can see. This one has all the athletes in it. So here's all the athletes, Brentwood, Cedar Mill. Here's what they swam. And when you have at night, you may have to like change things around because people leave or don't come back, or something. You have to do relays separately. Relays are under the relay tab. They're here. You can click these people and pull them out. I'm not gonna do that because that one's already scored. But it'll show you who's eligible to still swim. So like they used all their people except one. So if someone left, they could still use this girl. So that's kind of relays. What else? Reports. Okay, you're going to do a meet program. After it's seated, you're going to select all, and then down here it'll say columns format. Most officials like the double format. For your people, it's good to do triple format. That means there's 3 columns. I don't do 1 event per page. I don't do 1 heat per page. I mean, this makes a lot of paper. Okay, include in the meet program, event comments, entry times, empty lanes. There's a bunch of stuff that you can add in here, but really that's kind of all that I ever do. And then click on create report. And there's the heat sheet. So, oh, one other thing I was going to show you. Once you've seeded a meet, now this one's already scored, so I can't change it, but you can go under seeding and you can click on these things and you can preview, click on preview. Okay, click on preview, and it allow you to see each event and all the heats, and you can move people around that way. The same way I was clicking and dragging, you can move them around. Make sure you save when you do that, because sometimes I forget to save, and then all of a sudden I'm right back to where I started from. So that's how you do a meet program. Lane and timer sheets. That's another thing that you're going to have to make. So select all. You want to do, I mean, well, it depends on if you don't mind wasting paper. One event per lane, one event page per lane. I do it that way because that way once that event is over, the runner can get all those heat sheets, and then everybody can start putting them in. If you do 2 events per lane, then I cut them in half. But I quit doing that because it was too much work, so I just waste the paper. But if you do continuous, then you won't get it. You won't get it the way you want it to be. So I do 1 event per lane. Let's see. I think that's it. I'm going to create this report so you can see it. So this is event 1, and then this is event 1, lane 1. So it prints them by lane. So event 1, lane 1, event 2, lane 2, event 3, lane 1, event 4, all the way through. So you end up with like 450 pieces of paper, but that's up to you. If you feel like cutting it in half, then do that. I just never have time to do that. So that's how you make lane and timer sheets. Let's see what other reports you might need. Or you probably won't need. Oh, entry lists. So you can do an entry list for each team. I'm just going to do Cedar Mill for right now, and you can do you can do it separated. You can do all genders, or you can separate the genders like this. I just do both. Include heat and lane, entry times. Let's see, by team, athletes only, event description, slows, fast. Okay, so let's create this report. This is what you can send out to your parents also. So like Lucas Amador, he's in event 16, and he will be in heat 2, lane 5. And then so these read this way: 16, 40, 52, 64. I'm sure some of you already know how to do all this. Anyway, that's how that all works. I always send this out as well as a heat sheet because this is easier to find your kid's name and figure out what the heck they're swimming and show it on make sure they show it on their back. Okay, so that's that report. Any other report? That's kind of all the reports that I use. And then once it's all done, then you can click on the Meet Mobile. These are all like, this is export, this is import, this is back up the database. So let's say you're gonna be at the meet now. You're gonna run the meet. Everybody's gonna you're gonna put times in, and then you're gonna score the meet. If a person DQs, you click there. If a person's exhibition, you click over here. And then, so this is 9, 10, 100 meter IM. This person got DQ'd. you click score and it scores it, and it'll show you over here the score. If you can't get that little piece, I can show you how to get that. If you have, let's go to one that has more than this one. Okay, if you have more than one heat, you see now you have radio buttons here. You have radio buttons here. You click on each heat and it shows you all the way up through event 5 or heat 5. So that's how you go through and enter times into those. Okay. That's that. And then the last report that you're going to do, well, the last thing you're going to do is you're going to export this and export a backup to them, and send it to your opposing team. If you're the home team, if you're the away team, then you should ask for a backup, and then they can import it into their Meet Manager, and you can run where's the ribbon? I forget how to do ribbons. I gotta look that up. I'll figure out how to do ribbons and I'll send you an email about how to do that. That's kind of it. You kind of have to play with it. So it's not hard and you can't break it. You just have to click around and make sure you check what you've done before and that kind of thing. Are there any questions?
Okay, so say it all goes well. At the end, is there a way to, like, if you run the top 10 or 20 for your team, can you show us how to do that?
You can do, that should be in a report.
That's through like Team Unify, I think.
Well, yes, so you can then export this, export the results for, I think it's for Swim Manager or Meet Manager. I can't remember which one it is. Once you, maybe it's Swim Cloud. It's one of these. When you export the results, you can import it up onto Team Manager or Team Unify, and you can run that report there. But I think there's a way to do it on here. Let's see. This will create a report that's going to be the whole thing. So this gives you first through whatever for each event. So you can create that report. Is that what you're looking for? You can do it just for your team, I think.
Yeah, because on our Team Unify website, we have like the top 20 like all time so some of them go way back. And so I like get through making it, but then in the end, when you go to export it, you have to export it as an HTML or maybe an XML.
No, you export it. I think it's export it for
Well, this is in Team Unify. That's the way I was originally.
I see what you're saying.
But then somehow you like copy it and you paste it over the page. But how you said you're not going to break it, I'm always afraid I'm going to break it, and I'm not sure how to put it in there because once I mess it up, we're all new enough on this that nobody on our team's going to be able to figure out what I did.
Right. Let me go back to Team Unify here. Let me go back over here because once your meet is done, you can upload your file you upload your file somewhere on here. Once it's over, you can upload the Meet Manager. Oh, here. No, that's not it. You can upload your file somewhere on here. I'll find that out and send you and figure it out and send you an email. Will you send me an email to remind me to do that?
Sure.
Thank you. Christy, did you
I
have a
can
question?
send you the note. I'll scan the notes I have and send them to you, and you can see if that.
Okay, that'd be great.
So I'm like a complete newbie to all of this, like how this is created. So like at CoolDell, we will use our Team Unify for like the roster, and then we're going to import that list somehow into the Meet Manager. But then when do the two teams merge the data?
So here's what happens. So on Sunday, if you're the home person, let's say you're away, okay, and you're swimming me. You send me your downloaded file from Team Unify, and I pull it in here, and then I have it all set up. I pull yours in, I pull mine, I import my entries, I import your entries, and then I hit seed, I hit select all, and I hit start seeding, and then it seeds the whole meet. Then you have to go through and kind of mess around with it, around with the heat sheet. And then once you make a heat sheet, you send it back to the other team.
Okay, so the away team just has to send the team that SD3 file. Is
Yes.
that right?
Now,
Okay.
each team that's like, if you're swimming me, I'm going to send you a database file, I'm going to send you a database file to load up into your Team Unify.
Into Team Unify or Meet Manager?
I'm going to send you a Meet Manager file to load up into Team Unify.
Okay, I guess I'm confused now because I thought the Meet Manager is where the files from Team Unify got merged.
That's where they get merged. But to get your file initially, I have to send you this database. I have to send you this one. So I'm going to send you a Meet file, and you just upload it just how I showed you. And if you have questions, which team are you from?
I'm from CoolDell, and I'll work with Jen on that.
Oh, you have Jen. Never mind. You're fine.
Okay, I'm just trying to help her out so that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Jen. When I have questions, I ask her. She's the one that knows how to do it. You'll be fine. I'll send you a Meet file, and I'm gonna send everything to you, and then she'll help you. So you get stuff off of Team Unify and then then you pull it into Meet Manager, and everything else happens in Meet Manager. Then you export it and go back to Team Unify. It seems like a lot of work, but it's actually, the problem is that this stupid Meet Manager program is not a web-based program.
Yeah,
It's only on one computer. And so it's a big hassle. And
this is pretty like old, like this whole Access database stuff. So, okay.
But the thing is, all of swimming uses this, like club, college, Olympics. Everybody uses this stupid program. Why somebody is not so mad that they aren't making it whatever, I don't know. But yeah, if you have questions or you're stuck, believe me, I've made many mistakes on this stupid program, and I do it for the high school and I do it for summer league. So, and I'm a USA official administrative official also. So, there are things that I can't ever remember, and I just have to click around and figure it out. Also, when in doubt, this help button actually is kind of good if you can try and figure out what you're trying to do. But there is a new release. There's an 8.0. I don't know if I'm going to upgrade or not. I don't really want to until after the season is over. But anyway, I kind of did it a little bit basic, but that's what I do. So I'm sure there'll be questions. Just send me an email. I'll do my best to answer you. I'm not